I always do this. And yesterday it didn't happen.
It didn't?
At
It
all.
was like one time.
Yesterday was on point. But welcome to the Dash Group Chat Podcast. I'm your host. They call me G. Today we're doing things a little bit different. I'm here accompanied by my sister, Natalie. We're going to talk about boundaries. What's going on, Natalie? Talk to me.
Hi again.
We've always wanted to do this, create kind of like a segment just for us to talk and kind of like dive into different life combos in general. We chose boundaries because we feel it's important. We feel it's important to kind of like not only notice that boundaries are in place and they must be kind of like accepted by the other person, which you're setting a boundary for. But a lot of times I felt, like I told you before, I felt like we were the enablers.
Yes.
We allowed the disrespect while we're putting boundaries in place. And that's something that I just wanted to have a conversation with you about.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, it's like you got to continue to reinforce it though, you know, because sometimes you set your boundaries, but it's like that constant reminder, especially when they're adjusting at first.
Do you feel that way though? Do you feel like you constantly have to continue to remind the person about a boundary that you set?
It depends of the person. I feel like if it's a parent, it could be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Because of, you know, their upbringing and how they've been raising us. And it's like difficult for them to get, you know,
Accustomed to you telling them.
telling them like what they should do or not do. And for them to accept it and make the changes is like harder.
I'm glad you mentioned parents because that, for the listeners, that kind of like clarifies that we're not just setting boundaries for our friends or whatever. This is a boundaries for everyone. You have boundaries for your parents, for your friends, for your cousins, for everybody, for your partner.
Yes,
right?
everyone.
So different boundaries for different people. I just, the conversation we had previously about us setting boundaries and kind of like reinforcing it. Like, why do I have to continuously tell you how I'm feeling or set a boundary? Or is it that I'm not clear enough in my messaging? Because that happens too. Sometimes we set boundaries that we're not even having a conversation with you about. For example, I could set a boundary on you and you don't even know it. I just mentally set a boundary on you and stepped away from you. I never really had that conversation with you.
Yes, I think it all depends of the person. Usually we set these boundaries with people, but it's mainly the people we love, the close to us. It's important to do those boundaries as well because you want to maintain that relationship. You know, it's important to you. So for that to happen, there has to be some rules in place, like to not cross the line, to be respectful. So I won't hurt your feelings or you won't hurt mine or make me feel uncomfortable or even make you feel uncomfortable. I feel like every family should have these conversations.
So wait, you're saying that boundaries are put in place out of love. That's what you're saying.
In certain situations, not all, but
Okay.
yes, mostly.
Let's break that down. Boundaries out of love. I respect you. I love you enough to set this boundary so you won't ever cross this line to the point where I feel disrespected.
And so you could continue to be in my life.
That's crazy. That's crazy when you look at it that way. It is true. Boundaries are a blessing and no is a full sentence, right?
Yes.
You set your boundaries with your kids
Yes.
as well, right?
Very important.
And that one, you have to constantly, continuously reinforce it. You're right.
Every day you
You're
have
right.
to continue to reinforce that. Yes.
You're right. When somebody crosses the boundary line, do you give him a chance to kind of like redeem themselves? Or because like I told you before, my messaging may not come across as strong enough for you to consider it a boundary. Mm-hmm. To me, it is. To you, it isn't. So you're going to continuously cross that line. And then I'm going to get fed up and I'm going to make another scenario in my head and kind of like put you in another place.
And it's your fault. At the end of the day, it's your fault because you weren't clear. And, it's a work in progress. Like, we're all learning. It's not like we're experts in this. It's like we're learning day by day.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's your own fault that you're getting so frustrated and upset with this person when you never were clear with them from the beginning.
So set an example of how to set a clear boundary.
Like I said, if it's a person that's important to me, I would sit down with them and have a conversation about what's been bothering me, what I would like to change so it doesn't affect our relationship.
Right.
and hoping that the other person is receptive and is able to, like, if you're important to me, I'm hoping I'm important to you too, and that you are willing to respect me,
Right.
you know, and not cross those boundaries. It just takes two people. So it all depends.
What if they're combative in your boundary?
I'm a true believer, like, whoever's not meant to be in your life is not going to be in your life. It doesn't matter what you do to maintain that relationship. If they're not meant to be, they're not meant to be. And if you're not important to them, they're going to show you that you're not important to them.
And they're not going to respect your boundaries.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. You know, a lot of us, you know, when we're kids, we gain a lot of friends. We have time to spend with our friends. As life moves forward, you know, you find yourself kind of like being alone more. And it's not on purpose. It's life, right?
Yeah.
And that alone should be a boundary in itself, an unclear boundary. Hey, I'm growing. You're growing. I see you with your family. You see me with my family. We're heading in different directions, but we're still cool. You know, we can't like necessarily live in the past.
No, exactly.
You know?
And you can't take, it's a lot of things that people take personal that you shouldn't. Like I said before, if it's people you care about, you want them to grow, to evolve and do great things in life, even if you're not in it.
Right.
But just for the love you, like the memories that you guys have, the great memories, and you care about them, you wish them well and you're happy that they're doing good. And we take so many things personal and we shouldn't.
That's the key. That's the main thing I wanted to talk about, because you take it personal. You know, believe it or not, a lot of us are aware of the boundaries that we're setting, but we're not aware of the boundaries that are set on us. Right?
Yes.
We don't necessarily pay too much attention to the boundaries that people are setting on us, and we feel offended. And you're right, we shouldn't really feel offended. We should feel, you know, happy for the person that they're moving forward and they have a new lifestyle and they have a new situation, and it's not like it was before. The memories that we had, those were memories. Those we'll cherish forever. But life keeps moving forward. The unspoken boundary, right? That's kind of like the unspoken boundaries.
Exactly.
You know, but what else would you like to dive into?
About us being the enablers?
When it comes to boundaries,
yes.
we also are the enablers.
Yeah, like sometimes.
Like we allow the disrespect. We allow.
Yeah. So like I said before,
we
should be mad at ourselves for that. But once you're clear with your boundaries and people don't want to respect it anyway, then you already know what is your next step.
Yeah, but people start thinking you're an asshole because you're setting strict boundaries and you changed. And all
I mean,
that
it has to be realistic too, because if you, I feel that's why I say it's people that you love, because you're not gonna waste time with people that don't matter.
It's the people that
it doesn't
you love.
affect your day to day.
But when you're setting boundaries on people that you love, you know, you got to be very careful and mindful.
No, yeah,
of the
course.
Conversations you're having, because you also don't want to offend the person by setting a strict boundary, but the boundary must be put in place.
So let's say if you're dealing with a narcissistic person.
Okay.
Then what?
Like, what happens then?
Because we know the
narcissistic person, to me, with my experience with narcissistic people, they don't tend to pay attention to your boundary. They pay attention to whatever they want to do. Themselves.
Everything that pertains to them, yes.
And just move forward, crossing people's boundaries. Shit, I've dealt with people that cross my boundaries and they're narcissists, right? Those people I want far, far away from me.
Yes.
And the bad thing is that growing up, you don't really realize who's narcissist as a kid. You don't really realize those type of traits and personalities of people growing up. But once we're all adults and we understand life at a different capacity, at a different point, you know, we understand that there's respect, there's boundaries, and it'll be the closest ones to you that do the most damage.
Of course.
And then you're setting strict boundaries and you're just removing people from your life.
Unfortunately, yes.
You know?
Unfortunately.
And people, at the same time, people are removing you from their lives because you create a toxic environment for them. This goes for us too. Like we may be toxic for somebody as well.
And it's like sometimes it's unknowingly, like you don't know. It's like self-awareness. You don't have no self-awareness.
Right.
Many people lack that. And
that is definitely
it's something we're struggling with
that is definitely
in
true.
a time, yes. So sometimes the enabler of a narcissist is worse than the actual narcissist. Because, they didn't create the monster, but they sure keep it fed, right?
Wow.
And I've seen this a lot, and it's like they're not aware either. The enabler is not aware at all that they're making it worse.
Wow.
So it's just very sad to see. I feel like we all need to work on ourselves, and a lot of people don't want to do it. It's too hard.
Yeah.
They don't want to face it.
Yeah.
But we got to put in the work for ourselves and, to be better for ourselves and our loved ones.
Yeah. And again, it'll be the closest ones to you that you have the most issues with creating these strict boundaries. But like I said, boundaries are put in place out of love, not out of hate. Or sometimes, I could see you from afar and from a distance, and you're kind of like
and
not mixing
I
with
could
me.
love you, but it's become too toxic where unfortunately I can't have you in my circle, and my circle is very small. Well, you know that.
It gets smaller and smaller as you.
So unfortunately, yeah, I do have love for you. I wish you the best, but we're not on the same
Wavelength.
yeah.
We're
on
not
the same frequency.
Yeah, we're not on the same frequency at all.
So, and it's okay. I wish you well always, the best, and I'm hoping you wish me the best as well. And,
Yeah,
keep it moving.
A lot of people, there's no more conversation. There's no more, hi, how are you doing? There's none of that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish you the best, like you said, but you're over there. Continue to strive over there.
Yeah.
I'll continue to be over here. You could wish me luck. You could wish me bad. You could do whatever you want at that point. But sometimes you just got to leave people where they are.
But also, like, I'm a true believer, like, what you put out there, it comes back to you.
Right.
So if you give positive energy and love and kindness, that's the same thing you're going to receive in life. And some people are like, whoa, my life is so horrible. Oh my God, everything goes wrong. And then you look at yourself in the mirror. That's what you're giving out.
Wow.
So that's what you're going to receive. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah. I saw this thing on social media that said, like, stop answering that phone. Stop answering the text. You know what I'm saying? Stop, doing what you're doing to stop and respond. Stop responding.
Yes.
Sometimes we are the enablers. We go back to that, right? Because it's not like we love the toxicity, but sometimes we just allow the things to go and happen the way they happen because we feed the monster, right?
Yes.
We continue to respond to it. We continue to pay attention to it. It's sad, man, but the problem is that the problem I'm having with boundaries and setting my boundaries is you start noticing that you start losing a lot of loved ones when you start, setting boundaries. And not necessarily lose them as in not talk to you anymore or anything like that. You just start communicating less. You start
But it's part of
stepping away
life.
from people.
It's part of life.
I understand.
Whoever you started with in the beginning of the race, you're not going to be with them at the end in the finish line. It's just part of life. Yeah, it
sucks.
It sucks.
Setting
we
boundaries
wish to
sucks.
say, but it's part of life. And I feel like whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Like, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens how it was meant to happen. Like, I'm a firm believer in that.
And also all that, no new friend stuff, that's bullshit. Why do I say that?
Yeah, that is.
Because I'm at a different point in my life right now, right? Mm-hmm. Any friends that I allow at this point in my life have to match my energy, have to match my vibe. And if I allow you close enough to call you a friend, then this is a new chapter
And
in my
it's
life.
I feel like it's even more genuine. Because as an adult, you pick and choose, like, who your friends are, like, who is close to you, to your circle.
Yeah.
As an adult. So that's very meaningful. Like, as children, you just get together with a group of friends because you grow up with them, because of the neighborhood, because of your family, who they hang out with. So it's like it happens that way.
It's kind of mandatory.
But as an adult, it's people that really connect with you in a deeper level.
Yeah. So new friends are allowed as long as you're checking off all my boxes as, okay, this person is cool enough. The vibes are good.
Yeah.
I could see that person kind of like understands boundaries as well. No es tan pegajoso. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the ones that truly love you and care about you, they're going to respect your boundaries.
Without having a conversation.
Even that, exactly. And that itself is pure love as well.
Yeah.
Is genuine. So I'm telling you, whoever's meant to be in your life will be in your life. And it's crazy because I have a teenager now.
Go ahead.
And it's like, obviously, all my life experiences, it's like I try to pour into her as much as I can because of my experiences. And of course, I don't want her to deal with what I dealt with growing up.
Right.
But again, we can't protect our children from everything, right? She has her own journey that she has to live.
They have to learn.
She's going to go through her life experiences. And I just got, I'm mom. I'm just going to be there for you through it all. So, but it's like I be pouring into her. I'm like, you're lucky, I told her. Because I didn't have that with my mom. My mom is amazing, by the way. Sorry, le di al micrófono. Dije que strike one. So my mom, I love my mom. My mom is amazing. I love her. Pero cuando yo era más chiquita, yo no tenía esa confianza con mami. Like,
yeah.
I was very like scared to tell her certain things. Yeah. And mom wouldn't talk to me like I talk to Jaina now. Like, we talk about everything and anything.
Right.
And I love that. I told her, you're really lucky. She's like, yeah. Like, she looked at me. She's like, yeah, I am. Like, thank you.
You created that safe space, though.
Yes.
Back then, it was. I can't speak for the whole generation, but I'm guessing, because I didn't have much conversations either with that, but I love that, right? We love our parents.
Yes.
But a lot of those conversations that we're having with our kids were never had with us.
Yes, never.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's weird because now you're seeing what you missed out on, and you want to like add that in to your kids' experiences.
You want to be better. You want to do better.
You want to do better. Not necessarily better because our parents did the best they could with what they knew. Because think about it, the generation before them, I'm just gonna say it. I think that they were super silent. They never had conversations. It does seem that way. They just passed on the trauma, and here you go, and that's it.
Crazy.
And then our parents,
think about that,
our parents came from a different country to a whole new language and everything, and they have to adapt. And they didn't have the conversations that you're having with your daughter now with you.
No.
Right? So we are trying to put it all together and give it to our kids. But back to the boundary conversation, we also have to set boundaries with our kids as well. Sometimes they think they're our friends and they are our children. They need some discipline. They need some guidance. They need something strict to follow, right? They need to, me in my case, I always talk to my daughters about respect, about discipline, about boundaries. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking to them about things that they need to know and they need to kind of like grasp the idea of what I'm telling them and I'm big on discipline. I'm not big on like,
the gentle parenting. It's a balance. Everything.
Well, that's a boundary too. Like,
everything.
Yes, I'm a gentle parent to a certain extent, but I'm also disciplinarian to a certain extent. It's a mixture of things.
Yeah.
But the boundaries are set with my kids.
I feel like it has to be a mix of everything for it to work out. I mean, obviously every dynamic is different.
Now, here's the kicker, right? We're here talking about boundaries. We're here talking about kind of like how to move forward in life, right, with our kids. Picture them having kids, though.
I know.
How are they going to raise their kids? Our grandchildren.
No.
It's crazy. I cannot wait.
I tell my daughter, well, after you're 30, I be telling her like that. Yo no quiero ser abuela por ahora.
Yeah.
I tell her, like, by the time you have kids, I can only imagine that generation.
Oh my God.
It's going to be like, I feel bad for you desde ahora. I feel bad because...
No. I don't feel bad. I cannot wait to see that movie.
Even though, they're more open-minded, they're more, I feel like it's getting better in a way, but also not good in another way. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I cannot wait to see that movie.
So, it's going to be interesting.
Well, anyway, Natalie, thank you. Life Conversations with G. This is what it's all about. Little segments, us talking about life things. Listen, I love you all. Thank you for following. I'll catch you on the next one. We will catch you on the next one.
Yes.
We're definitely doing this more. Our next topics are going to be interesting. Stay tuned. Love y'all. Follow us. Peace.
Bye.